Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Lynn Padetti here, the founder of Outsourcing Angel, and in this video I want to share with you how to find your first client. As I was doing this video, there was this gentleman here named Grant, and he says, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I started talking to him and I said, "Let's connect." So now I'm going to give him my contact details, and that means that he could potentially be my first client, or he knows someone that could be my first client. So say hello, Grant.
G'day, how are you?
How did you find your first client?
It's a long time ago.
You don't remember anymore? Or was it just networking, talking to people, telling people about what you do?
Yeah, just usually word of mouth.
Yep.
Probably advertising maybe. Probably got into it with friends and stuff, working with friends, and
Yeah.
then went out on my own.
That's right, and then you tell people that what you do and you do the first job well, and then you just get more and more clients, eh?
Yeah.
But it's really, do you think it's also about being friendly and just talking to people, right?
Oh yeah, you got to be.
You gotta be friendly.
And then you got to learn what people want.
Exactly, you gotta find
What they want, not what you want.
good one. So guys, I am in this beautiful side of Sydney that I've never been here before. This is called Narrabeen Beach, and I'm just here to see a friend, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna come here early, enjoy this new view, and then create a video so that I could take you guys behind the scene of some of the beautiful places in Sydney. And so yeah, today I'm gonna share with you exactly how I found my first client and how you too could find your clients much easier than the process or the journey that I went through. So let me talk you through my journey in business. So when I first started in business, I started an e-commerce store, had no idea what I was trying to do, just really started a Me Too business, another nail polish brand, and didn't really look into the problem that I'm trying to solve in the marketplace. So I kind of just thought, oh, I'm just gonna sell nail polish, and I started that and I put all these money in. After I built up the website and got all these stock was when I started looking for clients. And so I had to put a lot of money on SEO, AdWords, and it was really, really hard to get clients online. And then the next few businesses that I started was like, you know, online trading platforms for how to sell mobile phone numbers online or find a coach. And you know, all those ones I never made any money really, or I did make it after I spent all this money in. So if you haven't started a business, my first tip is really to now go and find the problem. And when you're going to look for that problem, you will already see the potential clients that are looking for you to solve that problem. So then when you build a business around that problem, you won't have a problem finding that client because you already started off looking at the problems that you're trying to solve and the people that have those problems. And so once you build that, you shouldn't really have any problem with, you know, now offering them something that they can pay to use. Well, on another video that I share, I will explain to you exactly how to find a niche, how to actually start a cash flow positive business from day one, which means that you don't have to really throw money into your business and you could start to have paying clients and earn a good living. However, in this video, let's assume you've already got a business and now you're on this video because you're like, where do I find them? So this is the step one that I would suggest. You need to know who your clients are. So whatever you're selling, you need to really understand the problem that you're trying to solve. Who are you solving it for? How old are they? Female, male? Are they mothers? Are they fathers? Where do they hang out? Because for example, if you know who those target audience is, then you just go and find them. So for example, on Facebook group, you will see that there's interest groups in all facets, right? So for example, you can find mothers group, you can find fathers group, you can find single parenting group, you can find people that love personal development. So once you understand who your audience is, now look for where they're hanging out. And the cheapest place or the free place is to find groups that they're already hanging out in there, and then you join and you add value. So don't join in there and go, okay, who's gonna be my client? It's really taking that time to add value, to show your knowledge and your expertise, and then start to connect with them and engage with them and then invite them for a coffee. It could be a virtual coffee, and then that's when you can explain to them what you do and potentially get them as your first client. The second idea, which I went through with one of my digital agency service business that actually made money, was that I started a meetup event. So I started a networking event called Business Startup Zero Capital, and in there I was the host, I was facilitating. I actually didn't have to know everything about the topic. I actually allowed the members to also speak on stage, and I wanted the platform to be for members, you know, and delivered by members. So when you're starting out a networking group or some sort of gathering, don't feel like you're gonna have to be the one, you know, offering every content or every expertise, but you could create that platform for others to also contribute. And so that's exactly what I did. I gathered other business owners who were starting out, and I obviously then realized, because I was a host, people came to me and said, what do you do? And then I was explaining how I can help them with online marketing, and then they end up wanting me to do the service for them. The beauty of starting something new is that you're kind of the head and everyone knows you. Well, they're joining Lynn's group, right? But when you're joining other people's networking event, then you're just one of the many people there. So you kind of don't have as much leverage. But if you're the host, then the 20, 30 people that come, they will all know you and they all want to get to know you. Versus if you join a networking group, then on a night you may maybe be able to talk to one or two or three. So yeah, think about starting your own networking group. So you can start off by going to meetup.com, which is a free site. I think there is a paid version, but you can create a group, and you can also just create a group by, once you go into one of those networking groups on Facebook and you start to gather some friends, you can actually go and build your own subgroup. So let's just say I'm in an Asian group, but I want to actually create a subgroup of people that are Asian but then are interested in a specific topic. So then I could create another group and have those people in there so that we could have more things in common and they could potentially be the first client. Another way you can get clients is social media. So if you're selling B2B, LinkedIn is perfect for you. LinkedIn, don't treat it like just a resume where you put up your profile and that's it. It's really about adding content and sharing with people what you know. And so use LinkedIn as a social media platform and start every day sharing content like you would on Instagram or Facebook. And as you're sharing content, people will start to learn more about what you do. They like you more. You can create videos, you can put photos, you can put articles and text. And once you kind of build a brand on there, usually clients will actually come to you. So people will go, oh, I really like what you do, and they add you as a friend, or you can add people as a friend. And the best bit is that once you add them as a friend and they check what you do and all the content you do, then it just builds that trust, and then you can do some outreach and engagement. So what it means is that don't just wait for people to contact you on your posts, the people that actually say, oh, great post or anything. You could actually connect with them on direct messaging, and you contact them and talk to them. Treat it like you're networking but just online, and ask them for a virtual meeting, a virtual coffee, to get to know each other, and use that time to share what you do, learn more about them, and just don't have the expectation that you need to sell straight away. It's really a long-term game. Entrepreneurship isn't a sprint. You're not trying to get anywhere. You're building a marathon. You're running a marathon, and you're building your credibility. So even if that person doesn't become your client, they might know someone that needs your service, or they might they might refer you. They might remember you down the line. They might then become someone important for you to work with at another stage with another project with another person. So always see everyone as, don't treat them as a short-term gain. Don't meet someone and go, oh, no, they're not useful for me, so let's just forget about it. It's really a people-loving game, right? You love people, you share what you do, and eventually it's not one client that you're getting. You all of a sudden might get 20, 30 clients, because when the time comes, everyone got to know you and they start referring you, you will get so many clients that you can't even handle. Another way, apart from LinkedIn, Instagram, kind of Facebook, social media channels that you already know of, another great one is YouTube. So YouTube was the reason why I met my husband. So when I started my business, I started to create some videos, and I remember just sharing the things that I really know, which is how to start a business online. I didn't really say how to make money, how to succeed, because I haven't got there yet, but I wasn't scared of actually just creating some videos on what I know. And so I didn't care whether I had only a mobile phone that I was in the bedroom. It looked really crap, but it was enough for my husband to find me. So with YouTube, the video is evergreen. So that means once you create the video, it just sits there, and people from anywhere could actually find it one day and could be your potential client. So when my husband found me, although he liked me and he wanted to have a business meeting, I really saw it as a potential client. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for a coffee with him. He's flying me from Melbourne to Sydney and everything's paid for, so why not? And I went there thinking that he could be a potential client, but we ended up falling in love and lasted till this time. Another way that I recently met some great business partners was just being featured on other people's podcasts. Actually, this one wasn't even a podcast. It was another friend who was creating some Facebook Live interviews, 5 a.m. Facebook Live interviews. So it's free. It's not. Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything. Doesn't take a lot of technical experience. But all she did was started to interview people, and I went on that show because it wasn't that what am I going to gain out of it. It's just I wanted to share my knowledge, and by being on that interview that morning, I was able to meet my potential business partners right now, or my friends who I can call now friends, because they heard my interview and they're like, oh my god, I really like her, and now we're doing business together. So yeah, my whole point is that ask yourself, where can you find more exposure of yourself? How can you get out there more? And don't always think about spending money. It's not about trying to buy brochures and buy business cards and try to send it out. It's start always thinking, how can you do it for free? Give out value. Where can people listen to you, find you, and do more of that, and then your clients will come. I'm going to share with the last tip, because there's so many ways to find clients, but I think one main thing you can do now is start your own podcast. So if you are a video editor and audio and you're kind of quite technical, it's not going to cost you that much because you know how to edit yourself. But as simple as doing a Facebook Live and interviewing people or people or friends of friends that are in business, you could potentially get clients. So just like my friend, all she did was doing Facebook Live and interviewing other people. And so you can do the same. When you find your potential lead or potential client, instead of saying, can we please have a coffee? Most times people might be too busy and they're like, what do you want? What are you going to talk about? But if you come from a place of inviting them to share an interview and go, hey, I want to interview you and to share it with my audience or share it with my friends, then people will more inclined to do it for you, because you're not wasting their time. They realize that by you interviewing them means that their message could be sent not just to you but to more people. So I found that podcasting this year, when I was doing it, it just gave me an easier excuse to reach out to more people. And so like normally, instead of just going, hey, I really like you, can we talk? It's kind of like weird. But if you're like, hey, I really like your content, I really like what you do you mind me interviewing you, and I'll share it. And you, like I said, you can do it free on Facebook Live, or if you have money, or you can invest in doing your own podcast and upload it on Facebook and upload it on YouTube. You don't even have to get as fancy as uploading onto all the podcast channels yet. You can start with YouTube. YouTube is free. Record those interviews on Zoom and then share it on YouTube. And so it's really, really simple to do. It doesn't cost you a lot. It's just, how do you have an excuse to talk to people? And that in that way, it's not really wasting their time. You're actually now going, look, I'm going to record this interview, and then a lot of people will see it too. And then that means you get to spend that half an hour with that potential client or that person who might know people who could use your service. So there you have it. I've given you a lot of tips here, but if you're still confused or have any questions or want to know what other ways that you can find clients, please put in the comments below. Let me know what have been your challenge in finding clients. What have you tried? What worked? What hasn't worked? I would love to hear in the comments below. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and press the bell button so that you get notification for when my videos are up. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.